Good morning. It is Saturday. I love it. Ah, delicious. Delicious, life-giving water. All right, let's, I suppose let's work on more spells. Single player. All right. So I think I'm going to go back through... we're going to do the general spells again. I'm going to put in some shotgun new mana costs and cast times, I'm thinking. Then we'll probably go into evocation. Kind of readjust those spells, and then we'll move into alteration if we have time. Let's move this up here. All right, so let's take a look at our spells. All right, tier 1, general spells. Befriend animal, dig, fertilize, growth, hydration. Yeah, so these are like the generic toolkit. I was working on revive. I think I like this coloration for revive. Yeah, look at it. Looks pretty good. So I eventually should tie that. You know what? We're gonna do that. Let's pull up the particles. We are going to... Hey, Zet, how you doing? We're gonna use these new color patterns here. I'm gonna make a new profile for them. Particle system, let's go into revive. Right, so right now looks like I have a lot of whites, some dark greens. Looks like it's mainly a cyan kind of dark green spell. So let's create something new. We'll put it right here with conjuration instead of dark rainbow, we will call it purple rainbow. P-U-R-P-L-E, purple rainbow. This is gonna be upset. Doing great playing VS with your mod? Oh yeah? I don't know who's all testing the new mod. Are you in that group? Is it the new or the old? All right, let's stop that. Purple rainbow. Let's go into here. So color, here we go. Let's make a profile for these. Paste. Copy, paste. All right. We're gonna copy all this. Paste it in. There we go. So instead of dark orange everywhere, it's dark orange. We're just gonna say purple. Bam. All right, so the colors that I use, let's pull up the spell revive. It's gonna be tier 3 alteration. All right, so for this one, it's 120 across the board. And then those are the randoms. Oh, it should be purple rainbow. That's the key word I was missing. I'm like, wait a minute. There we go. So this is all 120. And then we got a 55, 55, and then a 155. Copy, paste, copy, paste. All right, so now I have the purple rainbow. I'm gonna copy that. We're gonna go back up to Revive 1. Right, instead of all these like dark greens and everything, we're just gonna pop in the purple rainbow. And there we go. Build. Mod page version. Well, no longer can access the text channel or can't find it. I'll have to look at that. You know, I wonder if you may have got swept away. People who were not like replying or like active at all. Like I pruned a lot of people out of it. Maybe you got caught in it? Let me see here. Search for... Can I search for your name? Are you something different in Discord? Do you have like a... Do you have a different name? Z. Damn it, because I'm streaming, I can't see the names. No! I can't see the names. You want to send me a message? Just the same name? Maybe... You know, you're probably this one. I think this is your profile, but I just see like Z ... I don't want to promote the wrong person. Yeah, I'll pop you in. You could test it out. Although the version I have right now has a lot more spell work in it, so I guess it depends. If you want to see what the new stuff is, versus, you know, like, if you want to see the new stuff, check it out. You can, you know, I can get you in there. Yeah, okay, so you did the Fishing with Sorcery meme channel, right? You know, the Fishing with Sorcery. That's what you posted? Because I think that's you. But again, I could just see Z ... because I'm streaming. Damn stream. I'm just waiting for that confirmation. I'm all ready. I'm all ready. Boop. Alright, there you go. You should see it now. Yeah, I had a lot of people who just were not participating at all in the supporter chat, so you probably got swept away with them. But you're back in. For this one, I think maybe once I do this next pass-through, you know, with what we're working on today, I will get another build out that has like a lot more spell work and stuff in it. Start playing with like the new transmutation and... Man, Revive's gonna take like 30 seconds, isn't it? Damn you, Revive! Oh, last night I fixed my little problem with the casting because I was doing it based on duration. So I decoupled that from the AoE, you know, pattern at the bottom of your feet. So like regeneration, now it's just that, right? It's the single target spell. All right, let's put on the Codex of Destruction. Oh, that's not gonna help with a spell scroll. All right, we gotta kill this thing. I'm so sorry. Bam, bam, bam. It's a cast spell. This Codex of Destruction is so much fun. Vexus, good morning. Oh, thank you for the sub. How you doing? Love it. All right, so we got to see how Revive is going to look now. Ooh. I should see... This is interesting. Okay, so I should see that. Am I checking to see if it's alive or dead? Let's look at the revive spell. I don't know why I'm working so hard on revive. It's fucking useless now. You duped it. Yeah. Doing all right. Enjoying my weekend. Nice. I have a good start to the weekend. Good start, right? I'm on streaming. I'm kind of working on the mod. This is good. Good stuff. So this is the spell. It's not getting into... Oh, you know what it could be? I could be looking for just alive entities with this, with a filter. Yeah, if target is alive. Ooh. Do I want that? Do I want to do a test to see if the target is alive? I'm gonna try and take that part out. Okay, so works on you. Oh, yeah, that's right. The hitboxes are stupid on dead animals. Technically, this is where the hitbox is. Dumb. Alright, let's see if we can bring you back to life. I regret not having a bunch of spell haste right now. I regret it. This little bastard better not get in my way. We shall bring you back to life. Yeah, I gotta go back through all this stuff. Okay. Well, it worked. 0.13 health. You know what? I'll just leave it as is. But this should help though, making interacting with things. I forgot that I had done that. That was very short-sighted of me. Sweet. All right. Let's get rid of this. So regeneration should work now because I decoupled it from the duration. And I did that because now I can make things like poisons and like damage over times and stuff like that. There we go. Yep. Perfect. Let's put regeneration and revive in here. All right, so let's go through the general spells one more time. And we are going to look at all the basic stuff, right? So, befriend animal. 15 mana, cast time of 4 seconds. Range of 10. You know what? Let's cut the range down to like 6. I could do, or you know what? Better yet, I could do maybe a 4... Maybe like a 4, 7, 10. Befriend animal. 4, 7, and 10. Generation looks good. Mana cost. Maybe I could do this one at like 40 mana. Or better yet, so it's 15, we could do like 15, 30, and then 45. maybe something like that. Although, you know what? No, I shouldn't do that. We'll leave it at this. We'll leave it at this. Because I have to account for all of the spell haste and everything that you get, and the reduction in mana cost. I did play other modded block game with buds, and reminded there's a Philosopher's Stone alike. Reminded there is a Philosopher's Stone alike in your mod. What do you mean by that? Like, do I have something called, like, what would the Philosopher's Stone do in the other mod or the other game? Because if I take it for face value, Philosopher's Stone, that's pretty much transmutation, where you convert one thing into another, right? So Dig should have a very high mana cost. Thinking maybe 25? Yeah, 25 with a cast time of maybe 5 seconds. Alright, that's pretty decent range. Let's keep looking at the other Dig spells. So if that's 25, maybe this could be... Maybe I could do 50 and then 100. And then I could do like 6 seconds, right? Because it's 5 seconds there. So we'll kind of increment like that. And then this will be 7 seconds. And this would be 100 mana. Yeah. Keeps telling me. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's pretty much transmutation. Which I am always looking for more conversion interactions. I had one where you would cast that's Serenity, right? Where you would cast transmutation in salt water and it would pull the salt from the water, like spawning salt. Let's fix that. I went a little overzealous with the sphere there. So let me go into transmutation. This is transmutation 2. On cast stop. Oh, this is going to be in the wand. Proto wand. Transmutation 2. Okay, on stop, transmutation 2. So I'm creating the shell, and then the yeah, that outward shell is ridiculous. Oh, I can't. I gotta shut down the game. All right. We'll safely shut down. We're gonna rebuild. And while I'm here, let's bump this one down to 100. I think that should fix those, the transmutation spells. Spawning a little too many particles there. Too much. Man, I'm gonna have to start making, like, brand new spells. I'm trying to think about what I want Judgment to be. Alright, so that looks good. That is much more manageable. This is the regular transmutation. That does look better, but you know what? I think it could be toned down just a little bit more. Right, something, you know, something like this. 75 and 150. Alright, let's take a look now. Okay, that's better. Right, so you'd like cast it. Yeah, that looks good. Alright, so bigger transmutation. That is much better. I like that a lot more. Perfect. That also means, let's take a look at Serenity. I think this one's a little too crazy with the particles, too. Oops, concentration was broken. Damn it. There we go. No, you know what? That one actually looks pretty good. Because you could, like, do it on the ground there to get the stuff above. I think that looks pretty good. Yeah, that looks alright. I think I mentioned this before. Does Rust Mage class matter, or any classes do? Right now playing as Rust Mage because why not? Rust Mage does have a pretty big advantage. Enlightenment is awesome because it takes a whole... It's 20% off of the stability loss value. So it takes 5% each tick. So it turns that 5 to 4, which over the course of time gives you more ticks in meditation, right? So it makes meditation a lot better. And gear calling is pretty nice too, to get more rusty gears to break them down into temporal fragments. Honestly, the walk speed is pretty awesome too, and the reduced hunger rate is awesome. I think, isn't it 20% hunger rate for holding something in your offhand? So it pretty much negates you holding something in your offhand. Now, of course, like the loot from foraging wild drops and everything, you know, that's not as good. But I think it's worth the trade-offs if you want to go with magic. Getting more ticks in meditation to get more mana back is a big deal. Especially when you get the more powerful mage gear, and each tick of meditation gives you more than 1 mana point. I think overall the max right now is like 8 or 10 mana per tick of meditation. So to get, like, for every 5 ticks, you pretty much get a free tick, right? Well, every 4, right? Because it'd be every 4, then you could think of the 5th tick as like a free tick. Fireball! Alright, instant cast spells are fun. They are fun. Oh, instant cast blink. This is great. Love it. All right, focus, Vice. Focus. I was looking at references. Here we go. So we got fertilize there, growth, hydration, ignite. Reap is pretty good, telekinesis. And then we have the cheap temporal touch. You know, instead of 6 mana, let's make that 8 mana. And then I should make these 9. Because, like, the way you get mana now is a little different, too. There we go. I think that is... oh, wait, True North. Here, let's undo that. 4 mana. 4 mana for True North. What about hydration? What was that again? That was 12 mana? We're gonna bump that down to 10. Ugh. We'll keep editing. 32 mana. Let's look at cast times now. 4, 5... 4, 6 for growth. I think that one's pretty good. Hydration, 4 seconds. Ignite being 10 seconds. Let's make that 8 seconds. We'll reduce that by a little bit. All of these are 2-second cast times. And that's a 6-second. Alright, that's pretty good. Alright, so we'll stop. We'll rebuild, hop back in. Nice. I just nerf hunger rate, it goes fast, and change 9 days to 30 days for months to make it interesting. There you go. Lucky my outfit didn't so damaged in spawn. How rare is that? What do you mean your outfit being damaged? Oh, are you talking about like when you pick your class? Your clothes? All right, we're back in. So tweaking those values, I guess that's something. Wait a minute. Shit. Crap. This is the wrong tags for all these. There is no third version of these spells anymore. Crap. We gotta fix that. Transmutation. Or not transmutation, the Grimoire. The Grimoire. Spells, Grimoire. I had a feeling I was doing something wrong. Okay, so textures by type, right? We have like regeneration. Really, it's this symbol that's gotta change. So tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3, that makes sense. Now I have to open up all of these, right? And everywhere... Here, let's paste that in. Select all of this. Everywhere it says 2, I want it to say 1. Then down here, everywhere it says 2, I want it to say 1. Same thing here. And same thing here. And then for all of these, everywhere it says 3, I want it to say 2. Same thing for here. Everywhere it says 3, let's make it 2. Same thing here. There we go. And finally this. Alright, that's better. Save. Fireball. Oop, there we go. As you spawn in, yeah. Nice. I mean, is that a mod doing it? I don't think I've ever had that. There we go. Now it says the proper tier on the binding. Except for... Damn it, the general spells. They don't have the tier rating. Weird. Well, let's look at the general spells. Why not? Damn it. Let's look at Dumb Blink. Oh yeah, it's set to default, huh? Wait a minute. Blink only has one version of the spell. Let me take a look at everything else. Same thing with Bind Affinity. Befriend Animal. Okay, Befriend Animal doesn't. I think I see what I did here. Dig does, so I should see symbol 3. Preservation shouldn't have anything, and it doesn't. Telekinesis should, yeah. So, okay, that's what I did. So that's working fine. I thought I forgot. That also means up here, Mend Object, yup, and Prize, yup. So they're not going to have any numbers either. Hydration shouldn't have a number, but it does. It does. Okay, so since Hydration is a standalone spell, there we go. Everything else... Oh, and True North, which is already set to default. There we go. Excellent. Did you like my cobbled together symbol for the general spell school there? Delicious. All right, that's looking pretty good. You know what? I probably could make this symbol bigger on the tome. But I guess that's not really needed. Plenty of space on the binding. All right. I guess let's look at evocation spells next. All right, so for evocation, we'll minimize that. We'll start with tier 2. Corpse explosion, daze. You know what? We probably should add something to the daze, root, and fear. Here, let's take a look at heal. And let me change to a different song. Hold on, we'll put on everyone's favorite. Put on everyone's favorite. All right, where's Flash Heal? There we go. Copy, paste, and paste. All right, so I guess we'll start with fear. Fear is more darkness based. I'm gonna want to make a purple out of this. Probably something like this would do pretty well. Whoops, there we go. Let's test it out. Fear. I might as well pull up all of them. Daze. Root. We gotta make the AoE versions of these too. I hate it. I hate it. All right, let's bump these back and let's add that. There we go. That should give us something a little more varied. Still, it's varied more, but I don't want the hot pink. Let's keep it more towards the purples. There we go. Maybe let's throw in... Ooh. Let's throw in some blacks in there. Oh, God, what color did I make? It's an abomination. All right. You know what? I think this is good. I think this one's pretty good. Or what I could do... What if I do... something like this? Okay. I'm kind of feeling that. We got some blacks, got some dark blues. I don't like the dark blues though. I'm wondering if I should just do maybe let's cut this value in half. That's the color right there. Right? We got dark blues, we got some flashes of black, some yeah, some purples in there. That's gonna be fear. And then terror's gonna just it's gonna be just probably a radial AoE. Sweet. So that's fear. Daze. Daze should be more light colored. Probably white. Whites or yellows. So if we do like 150, 150, and then have no blue at all. We will pepper in a little there. Let's kind of do something like this. Whoops. Let's see what days looks like. All right, something... It's, you know, it's golden. I kind of want a more maybe washed out color. Let's do that. That's it, right? Something that's kind of like the sun. Because, like, it's kind of like blind. Makes them wander around. I think that's pretty good. Root. Oh, come on. That's pretty good for a root. Maybe I can, because it is root, maybe it should be more brown. So what would brown be? Let's try maybe like a 70, 30, 10? Kinda. Keep everything a little dark but even. There we go. I don't like it. Let's try and bump this up to 100. Let's put this at 60 and then 30. What about that ratio? Okay, that one's maybe a little better. Because I'm thinking like maybe a wood kind of color. Okay, I like that one more because I'm getting some darker, it's not as bright, but I'm getting little flecks of like the bright. So that will be root. Root, days, and fear. Perfect. All right, so those are good to go. Corpse explosion, you know, I probably should add something for corpse explosion as well. This one's gotta be like red and black pretty much. So if I do something like this, wonder if that will give me what I want. Come on. Damn, I'm good. Let's kind of lower it a little bit though. There we go. Now I see more black coming through. That's corpse explosion for sure. Beautiful. Copy. So that's corpse explosion 1. Put the same logic in here. All right, Days Root Fear, Rust Nova. I don't think Rust Nova needs anything. Rust Orb doesn't need anything either. Shockwave. Shockwave. Ooh. I think for Shockwave, that one's gonna be interesting because I'm gonna want the AoE to be like around you. Here, and let's take a look at what particle colors I used. Corpse exploding is a nice gift for friends. Yeah, it is, right? You killed that rabbit, huh? Okay, so I spew out fire. About how many blocks away was that? I think it goes out to here. Yeah, so I think that's it. So it's 2.5. What I'm going to do with Shockwave is we are going to put this in. But for the final position, I'm going to get player.sidedposition.xyz. Which means I could get rid of this, and this. Since we are making something that's like fire, this is going to be maybe 150. This is going to be 110, and then we'll get hit with a 0 there. This could be like 50, 125, maybe something like this to make something fire. So I made like embers, but it's definitely more yellow. What about something like this, where we don't really get a lot of variety? So it turned it to more of an orange glow. I'm gonna bump this way down, and we are gonna put this modifier back in. We're getting there. We are getting there. What if I just probably do 0 and then that? Okay, so now I locked in the reds. Let's bump this up. There we go. That's more like fire. So what I'm gonna want to do is, why don't we create a new vector 3D, and I'll say we'll just do like final position. Why not? Equals. We could get this. Dot add copy. 0D 1D 0D. Right, something like that. And then let's put final position in here. And for the selection sphere, that's not what I want. I want the completion. That's what I want. Now I can put in my radius of 2.5F. There we go. And instead of 10, I think we need to bump it up to maybe 20. There we go, right? So you're creating a wall, a dome around yourself. Let's see what it looks like here. There's this little bug flying around. You little bastard. You come out when I least expect it. You little bastard. You know, I think the push starts at your feet. Maybe I don't need this. There it is. And that is way too many particles. Let's tone it down. That's actually still too many. Let's cut it down to 4. That, I think, is better. Right? Whoops. Damn it. Right, so as you're channeling it, yeah, you'll see that, then boom. I think that looks pretty good. Kind of resembles a fire attack, though. Maybe I... you know what? The icon, though, it matches the icon. I think that's pretty good. It is, that is pretty damn cool. Because, like, you can run up to something and be like, ha! You are within my zone of influence. Oh, shit. You get back in there. Okay, there we go. Push your ass back in there. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Memes kicking my brain. Remember South Park? You killed Kenny, you bastard. Yeah. South Park is still going strong, too. Alright. So Shockwave is good. Spike Shield, I don't really have a good alternative to that right now. I'm not gonna... That's considered a buff. There's nothing to really do about that. All right, so let's scale these now. References. Evocation, right? Yeah, see, these are way too low. So these should be the values. I'm gonna take a screenshot of this. And we'll kind of head back up here. So for Rust Orb, I had 64 with an 8-second cast. And it did 10 points of damage. Should it be like 8 and then 16? Maybe 8 and then 16? Because this does, well, the AoE does 6, so I think maybe it should be 10. And then 64, right? You know, I could do something like this, right? So we do like 58 and then 8 damage. And then the elemental versions can be a little more powerful with like 64 to 10 damage. Cast times. So I've been giving these 8-second cast times. I'm gonna do a 6-second cast time for these. Look at General Spell School again, right? Because Temporal Touch is pretty much what that other spell is, right? So yeah, it would be a slightly lower mana cost for slightly less damage. Bump all of these down. There we go. I'm gonna have to do it for these as well. Let's pull up the next Temporal Touch. So instead of 48, we could do like maybe 42. And maybe 6. Oh, that's the range. Okay, so yeah, it's already 6 damage. So then maybe I could make these 7 damage? No, you know what? Why don't I just make this 5 damage for 42, then the rest can stay the same. I think that'd be pretty good. And then this one... Temporal Touch. Okay, so that jumps up to 180. 9. So let's do like 160. And then maybe 7. What was the other one here? Yeah, I'm thinking this could be 7 damage then. And the rest can be 9 at the original cost. Because the awesome part about the touch spells is that, like, tier 1, it affects one thing in front of you. Right? Then tier 2 affects 2, so that effectively, like, doubles the damage output. And then 3 is, of course, 3. Right? So instead of just doing 9 damage, if you can group something together, you could do 27 points of damage throughout all three, for, putting all three targets together. So you could, like, blast this, and it's a quick spell, too. So I think that is more than acceptable. Now, keeping that in mind, 58 mana to shoot a projectile that does 8 damage, or 64 mana that does 10 damage, I think is good. Considering for tier 2, you should have the tier 2 armor on, which I think gives like a 30, maybe 35% reduction in the mana cost. Alright, so that's going to jump down to what, in the 40s for the mana cost? And if you're a tier 3 mage, it cuts it in half, right? So the Fireball 1 would only be 32 mana. Plus the 200 extra mana that you get for wearing the armor. So I'm thinking that's pretty good. Put on another song here. What's that? Yeah, we'll do this. Yes. Alright, so 64, 6, and 10. 64, 6, 10. Four, 6, 10. Almost done. 64, 6, and 10. Shadow Bolt. 64, 6, 10. There we go. Shockwave. We could reduce. I'm gonna make this a 6-second cast time. Spike Shield's pretty good, so I'm just going to leave that as is. Alright, so now I could come down to here. I could just multiply this by 2, right? So I could just make it like, yeah, this spell costs 128. Whoop. Well, this would be 128. And then maybe it could do 20 points of damage. But the cast time could be 10 seconds, right? So I would encourage you to get Spell Haste if you're going to lob these off. And something like this could probably reduce down to 110. Because the damage isn't going to be 20, maybe it could be 18 points of damage. Range is still pretty good. So 128, 10, and 20. I'm going to do this a different way. 128, 128, 128, 128. This way may be a little faster. Right, and then this would be 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. Right, and then 20, right? One final check, that's good. That's good. Perfect, perfect. Yes, yes. There we go. So that should be that. You know, I think I had these little more. I think I had the mana costs a little higher. I think I'm going to reduce the mana cost for these. So for Rust Nova, why don't we bring this down to be like 150, right? We'll do like a 150 and then maybe a 175. This damage would go down to 10, right? Because the regular Rust Nova, where the hell is it? There it is. Yeah, because regular is 6 damage for 70. Ooh, so... Yeah, you know what? I'll do 10. Yeah, so I'll do 10 there, and then the rest can be like 12. And it could be a difference of like, instead of 175, I could do maybe 165. So we'll do 165 for all of these. Again, I want to make the elemental variants a little better than the Rust Orb. Because you do have to go through another step. Next song. 10-second cast time, I think, is fine. So it hits 12 targets and does 10 points of damage to all 12 targets. Yeah, I think that's all I have to change there. Right? So that's that AoE, but if you want a long-range projectile... Oh, you know what? I think for Rust Orb... Yeah, it's a 6-second cast time. I'm gonna make it 12 seconds. Instead of 10. Boop. But that again. Hey, which school are these spells? These are evocation spells. And good morning. How you doing? I'm trimming down the spell stats. We went through almost all the spells. I am going to, right after this, I'm going to be creating... Here, let's reduce this as well. Let's just make that 150. We're going to be creating Terror, Immobilize, and Delirium. I think are the spell names. Right. Yep. Delirium, Immobilize, and Terror. And basically, these are going to be AoE versions of Fear Root and Daze. So what I need to do here is I'm gonna have to modify this base code a little bit. Just peachy? Nice. I think I have some code already made. There we go. I was gonna say, what is this? What do I want to listen to? Maybe this? There we go. Alright, so I'm gonna have to modify this quite a bit, right? So I'm looking at entity select, but now how do I want this AoE to be? Should it be an area around you? Or should it be like a positional kind of AoE? Right, so should it be something like this, right? Where I'm targeting a spot and then I can cast it there. You know what I mean? Like, should it be that, or should it be like I have to like run in, kind of like Shockwave, right? and then cast the spell. You'd be able to probably move while you cast it, right? But, you know, you could, like, run in and then, bam, AoE fear everything. Or daze them or root them. I kind of like you being the center of it. I like that idea. What was AoE again? Area of effect. Right, so like Shockwave is an area of effect. And we are referring to a area of effect crowd control spells right now. Right? So Shockwave, or not Shockwave, Delirium's gonna be like AoE Daze. Terror's gonna be AoE Fear. And Delirium is going to be... Oh no, Immobilize is going to be AoE Root. So Delirium is Daze. Yeah. I think I like you channeling this, because you can, like, run while you channel this, right? And you'd be able to just go up to him and be like, bam! And smack him. So I'm gonna have you be the focal point. I talked myself into it. It's perfect, Vice! So I do have some logic here. Get AoE get players, right? So this is the players. I have all of my modified cast times that I'm not using here. I guess I am using them. Well, well, well. Consume mana. I was gonna say, one of these... one of these should be something like this, right? Get all... AoE get all entities. Where's that one? Oh, there it is. So I think I want to copy this, paste it in, get all non-player entities. Should be an area you pick, and yes, the caster is the focal point. Yeah. Well, yeah, right? Like, yeah, you being the focal point. Yeah, so you cannot apply this to entities. Kinda taking a look at this here. So if this is not an entity, this, and E... There, we'll do something like this. Is entity player. There we go. Right, so what I'm saying in getting this list around you is... okay, adjusted AoE is distance. Okay, so I'm going to put the distance in for the AoE. I'm going to take a look at a snapshot of everything around you when you cast this spell. And I'm going to generate a list, but I'm not going to include any thrown item entities. So it can't be that, or it has to be a regular entity. I should probably put in entity agent. But I'll keep it with entity for now. And it cannot be an entity player, right? So this isn't going to affect any thrown blocks. It's not going to affect any items either that you throw, right? Any thrown blocks or any players. Oh, I had it commented out there. Wow. Good job, Vice. Good job. So good. And now what I could do is... There we go. This is what I want. I want this for each. And we are going to pull up another song here. There we go. Alright, so let's start with AoE fear, right? Let's start with terror. So I'm going to put this in, so I'll get all non-player non-player entities. I'm going to cut this out. I'm going to put in an if statement here. We'll put it in there. So I'm going to say if... how am I doing it everywhere else? Yeah, if entity player is player, so I want this. Copy. I want to keep the same format. Paste. Right? Now I can put player in right there for the focal point. Vector 3D, so I'm referring to a block position there. So damage entities within area. And I'm getting the final position. And I think final position is just, okay. That's just going to be the player position. So I could say player dot sided position dot XYZ. And then the radius is going to be the AoE effect. Let's put that at 3.5 F. Now what I can do is get rid of all of that. I'm going to want these two right here. Paste those in. So instead of max amount, this is exactly why I wanted to do this. So this is fear. Let's look at terror. So I need to put in something here with like a max hit. Let me look at. Here we go. Max targets. I want to keep a lot of my wording the same if I can. All right, this would be Terror 1. And maybe you could hit like 5 targets at a time with Terror. It's looking pretty good. That also means I need to find Delirium and Immobilize. Delirium. Copy. That's Immobilize. We can go back into Terror. So I don't need anything special here, I don't think. Yeah, there's nothing there, so I just pipe it in directly here. That would make sense. RMR references dot. There you go. Instead of Immobilize, this is going to be Terror. Just like that. So I'll get the max target. I'm gonna generate a list. You're gonna cast the spell. I'm gonna set your current amount to 0 because you haven't hit anyone yet. But you can have 5 people, right? So I'm gonna generate the list, and then I'm gonna go through the list top to bottom. And I'm gonna keep incrementing this until you get to the maximum 5. And then I would break out, and then you stop affecting things. Now, what that also means is I need to get these targets, right? So I could cut this, paste this, right? And target now becomes E as entity agent. And you know what? That means in here, I want to specifically look for an entity agent that is not a player. Yeah, stop, whatever. Just let's close the game for now. So I'm going to loop through the list, and then I'm going to make sure the target is alive. Oh, let's get rid of this. I do not need to tell you the target's dead because this is actually going to spam you. So we'll get rid of that for now, right? So the target's got to be alive. You have to have direct contact. So you have to see it from the range. Oh, what was the spell range? Ooh, 20? Ooh, let's not do that. Let's put it at, what did I say? 3.5? Right? I think that was the range. I think 3.5 was the range, right? Yeah, 3.5. So now I could come in here and say RMR references dot terror range. And what I could actually do here is just paste it in like that for now. Okay, so I get the range. You know what that actually means for this? I could just do dot or just range in there. We go through the amount. Are you alive? Can I see you? And then I do the force for the task there. So I could get rid of this because I already defined player up above. This would just be another safety check, and I can tell you that you've cast fear. I'll get rid of that. Else, get rid of that. There we go. So I could remove that task. If we didn't get anyone, I could cut this out. We can get rid of this. Get rid of that. These are going to be the particles, and then I can consume mana. I think this is what I want for now. Let's give it a try. Build. Hop in. So terror should work. I should be able to go next to those two goats, whatever they are. Cast the new terror spell. And it should put fear on both of them. Delicious. Life-giving water. What I also need to do up here, let's find fear. Copy, paste. Instead of selection, this would be completion. There it is. And this would be range. And then I can bump this down to 4. And I could get rid of this, get rid of that, get rid of that, get rid of that. And then this is going to just be player dot, keep doing that, dot sided position dot XYZ. All right, let's pull up terror. Well, that's fear. There, terror. Wow. That's quite the dome, huh? I think 3.5 is a little too much. Let's make it 2.5. Oh, I gotta safely shut down. You might be right. Yeah, that was that was something. And once I complete these 3 spells, I still have to tweak the where's my cell phone? I just realized I don't have my cell phone. Here guys, I'll be right back, but I basically have to do the same thing I just did with fear or with terror to the other 2 spells. Okay, that's a little better. But yeah, I just got to do the same thing, and then all the evocation spells are done. I just have to tweak things. Ooh. Oh, those are just particles. I forgot to comment that out. Continue. And why is this? Oh. Everywhere you see selected entity, replace it with target. There we go. Looks like they are both afraid. If I come over here, they'll run. Oh, well, if they still had fear. We'll do this again. You know what else is delicious? A fresh peach. You know it. Oh, that guy was outside of my range. So if I go over here, yeah, he's running away from me. Alright, so we got a little time remaining. Oh, you know what? Maybe I can hit them both. Your target's immune. Oh, this target's not. So maybe I do have to bump it out a little bit. Yeah, see, I hit them. You actually gotta be pretty close to them. Alright, I'll be right back. I gotta find my cell phone. Here, we'll take a look at those guys. All right, I'm back. Wow. Do these people, like, wait for me to get up? All right, we are back. Yeah, so you gotta be kind of close for terror to affect them. Right? Ah! It's pretty cool, though. Pretty cool. Let's increase the range on this. Instead of 2.5, let's make it... I think 3 is going to be the happy middle here. Ugh. Alright, save and quit. Build. That also means I could come up to here. There you go. So, Delirium, the range should be not 20. 3.0. Immobilized range should be 3.0. There we go. Perfect. And I think for the most part, terror itself is done. So let's pull out immobilize and delirium. You know what? We'll move terror over here because I'm gonna do a side by side, and this could be side by side here. Okay. We're going to get the 2 other spells online now. So for range, right? So instead of terror, this would be Delirium, delirium. Did not mean to do that. There we go. And this one would be immobilize. Alright, and then we're going to go a little further down. Copy, paste, and paste. We need to look at fear. Nope, we don't need to look at fear. We need to look at days. Get these numbers. Alright, so that right there, this is going to be 155, 125, 15. So days is good, I could close that out. Root. Copy, so immobilize, here we go, paste. 15, 15, and 5, right? So that should be good. I'm going to save that. Let me make sure that this is actually running. Yep, so that's running the days effect, and that's running the root effect. Excellent. All right, so let's go a little further up. I'm going to kind of restrict it here, right? First thing that I need to do here is put both of these in. Instead of terror base max targets, it's going to be delirium and mobilize. There we go. And I'm going to just copy and paste. There we go. Copy and paste. Copy and paste. I think what I can do here, this is going to be really quick. Anywhere it says this right here. For fear, I'm going to want to change that to be days. Right? Same thing over here, but instead of fear, or instead of days, it's going to be root. I think there's one more thing to do. Root, AI task. You know what? There isn't. That's it. That is it. All of this, all the old code can go away. Boop. All right, all 3 new spells should be in. Let's test them out. Hey, yo! Already back at it again. You know it. How the spells come together. I've been like shotgun tweaking the mana cost, cast time, stuff like that. I'm thinking tier 1 spells are for the general spell school are looking good. I'm gonna have to do like tier 2 and 3, probably tweak them a little bit. Not as much though. We are working on evocation right now, pretty hard. These are the last 3 spells that I'm working on here. All right, so look at that for a zone of influence. That's pretty good. We are working on the AoE crowd control spells right now. This one's terror. So, yep, I can hit them and they can just run away. You know what we need to do? Hold on, let's back out. There is something that I could bring over. Where is it? This right here should put the particles on. Let's go under build, hop back in. That should put the particles on the others. Because I want you to see the particles that, you know, they're affected by something. So you know what's been hit and what hasn't. And I think because the sphere is a little bigger now, I think I have to boost the particles that I generate. Make that 6. And make that 6. There we go. There we go. That I think looks a little better. All right. Oh, they're immune. Damn it. They'll be immune for another 30 seconds. All right. Well, let's take a look at days. No AoE effects for either of these. Interesting. Let's see why. Why am I not seeing this when I should? What do I got for a range stat up here? So we got Delirium at 3.0. 3.0, so that should be correct. Red, green, blue, those are the right colors. Let's take a look at Terror. On cast step, that's all right. That is right as well. Interesting. Very interesting. So why am I not seeing those AoE particles? Hmm. Interesting. But I got it here. Oh, Days and Root. Those aren't the ones I want. Oh my god, it's Delirium. That looks better. Delirium and Immobilize. There it is. Right? And then Immobilize. Okay, these guys are good to go. All right, let's hit them with Terror. All right, so I should be able to hit them. The sphere, they should both be within that sphere. Ooh, but it hit only the one. Okay, hit them both that time. Oh, wait, I think I may have embedded an immunity in these. What about... Oh, you know what? They have different times. One was probably immune before the other. Here, let's spawn a couple more things. Spawn some drifters. Alright, I guess you two will do. Oops. Delirium! So I hit the one. He's not affected. He wasn't affected. What about Immobilize? Damn it. Can you guys walk closer together? Thank you. Okay, that worked. With Immobilize, the particle colors under your character don't match the particle colors, which indicates the range. I think that looks a bit odd, don't you think? Oh, I don't know. Well, I mean, it's not gonna be blue. That's just a general pattern. It's just coincidence that it's this. See, that one's not the same either, right? Terror. I mean, Terror's more dark purple. It's not black. Oops. And so what, you think Immobilize should be blue instead? Yeah, see it. Oh, they took a step up. You know what I'm gonna do? Just because I can. We are going to give a little leeway here. So I'm gonna go back to here. I could do range -1F. I'll do 1.0F. Or you know what? I'll do a 0.5. Right? So I will make the dome look a little smaller to account for that wiggle room of like you think it's in the dome, but it's really not. I'm messing with the stats. Boop. For me, this is just makes it weirdly colorful. Maybe it's just me, though. Yeah, I'm thinking Root. Root is more like, you know, like thorns and wood. That's why I gave it that color. But let me see here. Yeah, because actually, that's what it should be. Oh, I have an extra burst of particles for the light and the neutral. But not the dark. Yeah, those particles in the middle are not supposed to be there. I didn't even notice that. Let's take those out. Holy crap. There's so much. Okay, right, so dark, yeah, hand burst is gone. Bottom twinkle. Here we go. So, suspended wisp and twinkle. So for neutral, here we go. Casting neutral, right? So yeah, rainbow. This needs to be gone. Actually, just the burst at the bottom should be gone. And then for light, yeah, bottom burst should not be there. Perfection does take time. You are correct. There we go. That's what it's supposed to be. That's what it's supposed to be, then dark. Right, because each one's a little different. You have that sphere, but it's kind of like the, you know, the dark ring around with the black wisps. The light, it's got the dual swirl with the you know, kind of glow coming up. And then neutral, actually neutral should not have rainbow either. Maybe I should make it a little more blue as well. I don't know. But there we go. Now you don't have the burst. There we go. That's looking better. All right. So the dome's a little smaller, right? So you're like, oh, I gotta make sure I get them both. Right? So something like that. Yeah, and see, I hit them both. I think Delirium's probably gonna be weird with animations. Right, so right here I should be able to get them both, right? Yep. Delirium makes them just kind of run in random directions. And they're going to be immune for a bit. And then Immobilize would be root, right? So... Motherfuckers. Root. There we go. Perfect. There, now they can walk again. Okay, there we go. AoE spells. Did come back from the store. Did I miss something important? No, not really. We got rid of some, there was some extra particles on the bottom when you were casting in the center. It was like a burst of rainbow. For neutral and light spells, not dark. Dark already had that cleared out. Everything about magic is important. How dare you? Terror. Burp. Oh. Oh shit, he just threw himself right off to get away from me. Oh, that's funny. Oh, he killed himself. Oof. I don't stink that bad, jeez. That's awesome. All right, so those are actually the last spells. The toolkit for evocation should be complete. Let's take a quick look here. Those are done. So we just did. Oh no, you know it's not complete. I need to come up with Cataclysm and the Void Pulse and variants. So it's not complete. I have no idea what I'm gonna do about Cataclysm. I know it's gotta be like a hard-hitting spell. I just don't know what it should do. Saw the raw power of the dark side. Yes, he did. Hit this guy with delirium. Boop. Yeah, that's what I was wondering. They changed the animations for drifters. Knew it. Knew they did something. Let's look at the let's look at the AI task. They need to stop screwing with things on the back end, man. Makes it hard to support, like, all this random stuff that I'm trying to do. Crowd control, no, so those are effects. I want the AI tasks. So, days, here it is. So that was my adjustment there. So drifters. There are big changes coming over the next 2 months. What do you mean, the Vatican? For what? I know you're not talking about Vintage Story. See, it's not called Run. Pig, Run. Alright, let's take a look at drifters. Oh, you know what? They probably pre-pinned it with something else. Vintage Story, Assets, Survival, Land, Drifter. Close those others out. So I need to look at animations for them, right? Wander, stand, walk. I think it's gonna be stand, run. Yeah. Damn them. Okay, I guess it is what it is. Let's put this in else if. We'll paste this in. This contains drifter. It's gonna be stand walk. I'll just default it to that because I have no idea which one they're gonna want to use. Let me pop you with another delirium, buddy. You stupid bastard. Your target is immune. Of course. Of course it is. Shockwave, here we go, delirium. Boop. Oh shit, look at that. 15? Oh man. It should be like 1. Like 1.5. 1.5, not 15. Holy crap. Alright. Don't mind your friend. I'm experimenting right now. That's better. Randomly walking around confused. According to Tyron's interview with Big Dude the other day, the Hightail devs they hired are going to help move VS forward, including a form of Hightail and Adventure Mode. Pavadigan, that was old news. They you know, he said he was bringing in people. It's not, there's nothing with the next couple months, man. If they really wanted to get started on this, they need to start with like synchronization between client and server, fixing the little things like if you throw an item out, how it doesn't have, like, it has null for like the tag for the player ID who threw it. You know what I mean? Like, honestly, I'm a little sour right now with VS, because I was expecting like 1.21 to, you know, take a little more time. We were gonna see something that was, you know, gonna be kind of new, worth it, like a new, you know what I mean, something. But, you know, this was a very quick 1.21, and I highly doubt that things have been optimized to the degree that they should be. You know what I mean? It's a little too quick, especially since they had to, you know, they pushed out 1.20 and they've been doing all the fixes. I kind of feel like they could have waited a month or two and just kept pushing out a couple more 1.20 fixes. You know, fixes in 1.20 to like bring all the stuff online and then start with a 1.21. You know what I mean? Like, it's... And then seeing their unlabeled PlayStation 1, 2 graphic game, I'm like, eh. I thought we were gonna see something cool, like Hytale wise, you know, like, hey, this is what we're thinking with an adventure mode. So I'm a little sour right now. I'm a little sour. That, and on top of that, you know, putting in like Revive, their version of Revive that made my spell useless. I'm kind of sour about that too. There we go. Delirium. Delirium works. What about Root? I think Root would override. I think it overrides Delirium. Start walking, buddy. Root. That animation looks like when those, the just made meme about Drifter just falling off and posted it. Yeah. Just running. They're all escaping. They're escaping the laboratory. That animation looked like when those tiny dogs get excited and run around with their tiny little paws. Yeah. Yeah, it's not going to look perfect, because I'm not going to go through every animal's animation. Like, if something's, like, egregious like the Drifter was, I will put something custom in. But, yeah, I think that's acceptable. Oh, man. Alright. Sweet. You know what? Your task is done, buddy. I appreciate everything that you have done. You are not smart, are you? Looks like your stream is popping in and out. Boop. Let's take a look here. Yeah, I got something going on. Nope. Streamlabs mobile update. I'm not seeing anything drop. Oh, you know what? Hold on. It could be the music. Could be that. Yeah, I'm getting... no, it's actually just kind of low. Maybe my internet just sucks right now. Is it better now? We may have to go without music for a little bit. I get it. Boom! Right off the cliff, baby. I get it. I just saw a YouTube video from Big Dude. Looks like your stream. Oh, your stream's popping in. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if there's something there, can you send me what you found? Like, I would like anything to like grasp onto. A little copium inhale. a little something. It'd be nice. It would be nice. All right, so looking at spells, the Void Pulse and Cataclysm are the two spells, and once I figure out Void Pulse, it would propagate to all the elemental variants of it. But I'm not sure what these should be. Made it another one. What do you mean? I'm thinking like Void Pulse should be a positional AoE. Right? Something like, you know, this, right? Where you're casting a spell and you're like, yeah, it's gonna be a sphere right here. You know, this is gonna be the AoE. And then you would cast it in an area? I'm thinking. Deegan! Hello, first time viewer. Hey, welcome on in. We are working on spells right now. Trying to figure this whole spell thing out. So I think I'm further along with Void Pulse. Here, let's put Terror, Delirium, and Immobilize in chess, because they're done. Delirium, Immobilize, Terror, Shockwave is done. Perfect. Instant cast. Love this instant cast bracelet. It's fun. Yeah, I noticed, but didn't comment on it because I thought it was my side. Yeah, I mean, my internet could just be kind of crappy right now. Let me see here. Yeah, it's still... seems like it's half as good as it normally is. Maybe a little more than half. So I killed the music. Yes, for now, you need to get 1 gig fiber. Man, I would love to get 1 gig fiber. There are 2 companies around me that are trying to put fiber in the area, but it's not where I live yet. I've been waiting for like years. Every like 3 to 6 months, I'll hop on the sites and be like, put in my address. Is it there? And nope, not yet. I would totally get it. Oh God, you kidding me? Be amazing. That, or you know what, guys? Maybe I have to move. I gotta get a new house. Sell this one, get a new one, and I'm telling you now too. Like if that is on the table, I already told Freya. I'm like, look, we're gonna get a house that can have fiber. I need my fiber internet. Need it. Nope, still popping in and out. Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, it could also be Twitch too. Could run a speed test. Nah, you know what? I don't know how long I got. Yeah, I think we could have the music back too. If it didn't fix it, honestly, putting the music on, I'm looking at like my bitrate. It didn't change. It's hovering like the same range. So I don't think it's that. Looks like it's time to reboot everything. Yep. How about Twitch starts with rebooting their servers? We'll start there. Bam. All right, so you know what? Why don't we work on Void Pulse for the... I am drawing a blank. I envision it being a very strong spell. I don't know if it's going to be an AoE, a projectile, a touch-based spell. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, like a short-range, high blast kind of spell. What the element is going to be for it, like, I have no idea. As a viewer, downgrade stream quality for smoother stream. Yeah, you could do that too. You kick it down a notch. You know, I don't ever utilize scrolls and Rustbound Magic. I know I should, but they're all tier 1 spells. It's kind of nice for a couple reasons having the scrolls, because you can, you basically, you know, first of all, you could walk around with a lot more spells than you can have in your sanctum, you know, to have them readily available. You pay that mana cost up front so you can like prepare, because they're like free, you know, they're going to be like free cast spells at that point. You get more charges as well, which is pretty nice. And you can go in the configs and you can change the amount of durability each spell scroll has. But it's actually not too bad. You could give them to other players, and non-magic users can also use them. So there's a lot of benefits to it. Quality changing did nothing. If quality changing did nothing, then it's a Twitch thing. Because normally I see drops, right? I can look and see like when I'm dropping or when it's choppy. My bitrate, and my bitrate's not even that bad. Usually it's around it's usually around like 4,500 to like 5,000, maybe 6,000 on a good day. It's sitting just under 4,000. All right, so that's average. Oh, and it jumped up to like 4,800. But yeah, so that housing market, huh? Give you some. But you know, the thing is, like, Google Fiber doesn't, like, if, you know, if Twitch is still gonna have a problem, then nothing I could do. I like those problems. So what I'm envisioning with Void Pulse is something like this, right? Like you would pick the area to trigger the AoE. You would cast it in that area, and then whatever steps in that area would take whatever the damage is. Almost, you know what? It would almost be like regeneration. It would be an attack form of regeneration. Maybe instead of like throwing the projectile like this right here, right? Because here, let's cast it. Right? Instead of throwing the projectile and then having it detonate, it could be more like instant cast. You know what it could be like? The summon tools. Could totally be like this. Right? So you would pick your area to a degree, right? To an extent. And then like bam, right? Like it would have the AoE effect there. You know, I could treat it like a conjuration spell. Where I would put down, like, I would have an invisible entity that stays for so long, and it keeps checking. That entity's job would be to check the area around, right? And then pulse out the damage based on the elemental attribute. I think, man, that sounds like a lot of work. No wonder why I haven't done Void Pulse yet. Because that's creating a new entity that's, like, you know, linking it to a spell and summoning that entity. And then like in that entity logic, having it live for a certain amount of time, like whatever the spell's time would be. Should I just not be... Well, how much time do I have? I don't want to start this and not be able to complete it and then come back to it in a little bit. Yeah, I don't have enough time to do that. It's like already 11 here. So what do I got? What do I got? Boom! Look at that. Wrecked. Boop. Yeah, on the server we're utilizing them for non-magic users. Oh, the summon tools. Yeah, they're pretty good. They are pretty darn good. I think one of my favorite weapons that I made was the Eclipse. I just love this sword. Like having like the eye in it too for the gemstone. Boom. throw that overboard. Actually, you know, all my ultimate weapons I like. I think it just kind of depends on my mood, right? Like the Tempest having the rapier, the big hammer. You know, of course, Thor's hammer, the axe, the frost axe, I think is cool. This one's not bad for a spear. I'm not really into plant stuff, but the Wild Heart's not bad. The mace, the Riptide, is like the one that I'm like average on. Like, I feel like it could be better, but it's a mace, you know? Like, what are you gonna do? All right. Friggin' instant cast abilities. What am I working on? If I can't do Void Pulse, Cataclysm, I have no idea what that's going to be. Let's move on to another spell school. Alteration. I think for Alteration, I have Judgment. Yeah, Judgment 1, Judgment 2, Flash Heal, or no, Healing Surge. I gotta figure out what Healing Surge is going to be as well. And I think that's it. I gotta figure out what Healing Surge is going to be. You know what? Healing Surge could, well, Regeneration is kind of, I'm not sure what to make of that. Okay. All right, everyone. We are done for now. Let's find someone to raid. Stream question for you. Have you considered streaming to Discord? Especially when streaming to Twitch seems to be touch and go. Not really. Discord doesn't, you know, honestly, a lot of this, it has to do with, you know, I don't know. I don't think of Discord as a streaming service. Like I've done it with a couple people. Like I will go into the Discord and then hop in and share my screen. But that's a little different than, you know, reaching a much broader audience. You know what I mean? Because then I'm targeting people within my Discord. Who is playing Vintage Story? We have something to look at. Hey, Percuss, perfect. We haven't raided Percuss in a while. Let's give him a raid. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. We made some